Every single day, you unlock your phone, you scroll through your feeds, maybe you pay for coffee with the tap, or talk to that smart device sitting in your home. And, we feel like we're in control. But what if every single one of those actions is being seen by a digital eye? I mean, think about it. All those tiny little things you do every day, they each leave a digital footprint. Is that just, the cost of living in the modern world? Or is there something more going on behind the screen? A kind of quiet, constant observation that's become so normal, we've basically just stopped noticing it altogether. We've all had that feeling, right? That really strange, kind of uncanny sense that our devices just know a little too much about us. It's that moment where you have to ask yourself, wait, is this just a coincidence? Is it a feature that's supposed to make my life easier? Or is it something else? Okay, here's the classic one. You're just talking to a friend about, needing new hiking boots. An hour later, your social media feed is just full of ads for them. It is so specific, it literally feels like your phone was listening in. Was it? Right? Or think about your map app. It somehow knows your route home from a totally new part of town without you even telling it where you live. Or social media suggests tagging friends who are at the same concert as you. Well, that's because a lot of apps are tracking your location, running in the background, just quietly building a map of your life. And this isn't just an online thing. The moment you step outside, you're on camera. On the street, in the store, on public transit, there's this whole physical network that's watching. And all of this has created two very, very different ways of seeing our world. So first, let's explore the argument that this isn't random at all, that it's a system. This is the case for concern, and it suggests that what we're living in is a pervasive, interconnected infrastructure of observation. This quote really reframes the whole idea, doesn't it? It means this isn't some shadowy conspiracy theory. The idea here is that surveillance is now a tangible part of our world, almost like roads or power grids. It's just part of the architecture of modern life. And this infrastructure is literally all around us. Physically, you've got CCTV cameras everywhere. Digitally, we all carry a personal tracking device right in our pockets, our smartphone, logging where we go, what we buy, even how we sleep. And online, social platforms are monitoring every single interaction, every like, every share, even how long your eyes pause on a single video. No, this data isn't just collected and forgotten about. No, it's analyzed. It's put together piece by piece. It's used to build a digital version of you, a version that can predict what you'll buy, who you might vote for, and what it takes to keep you scrolling. And that, of course, leads to one of the most famous sayings of the digital age. It's the simple, kind of brutal transaction at the heart of so many of the free platforms we use every day. Our attention and our data, that's the currency. This really gets to the core of that whole "I've got nothing to hide" argument. The point isn't about having secrets. It's about having autonomy. The power to choose who gets to know what about you and why they get to know it. But of course, that's only one side of the story. Yeah, the other side of this whole debate suggests that all this concern is, well, maybe an overreaction. This is what we could call the case for normalcy. The idea that a little observation is simply the price we pay for a much more convenient, personalized world. And a really key distinction to make here is that being tracked almost never means an actual person is sitting there monitoring your every move. The vast, vast majority of this data is just processed by automated algorithms, not some analyst in a dark room. So what are these algorithms actually doing for us? Well, they're finding products we might actually want to buy, they're recommending new music we'll probably love, and they're even helping authorities keep our public spaces safer. It's the engine that powers a lot of our modern convenience and security. When you get right down to it, it really just boils down to a series of trade-offs. We get safer streets, but the cost is widespread location tracking. We can get faster emergency responses, but that might require sharing our health data. We get these amazing personalized services, and in return, well, our behaviors are tracked and analyzed. So from this point of view, the main driver isn't some desire for control. It's efficiency. These systems are built to make our lives smoother, businesses more profitable, and our societies run a little bit safer. Okay, so we've got these two pretty opposing views. One is rooted in deep concern, the other in a kind of practical acceptance. But maybe the first question we asked, are we being watched, is just too simple. Maybe we need to be asking a better one. Because honestly, at this point, the answer to that just seems to be yes. In some way, on some level, we are. The data is being collected. That part isn't really up for debate anymore.
So the more important questions become, who has access to that digital you? How are they allowed to use it? How transparent are they being about it? And what happens if that power gets abused? That's where the real conversation starts.
And this isn't just some abstract debate for experts and tech giants. It really involves the choices all of us make every single day. So now, the questions aren't for the system, they're for you. So ask yourself, where do you personally draw the line? Is that perfectly personalized ad feed really worth your entire browsing history? How much privacy are you willing to trade for an added sense of security? When your smart speaker just randomly activates, what's the first thing you think? And in a world this connected, is it even realistic to try and opt out anymore?
So it really all comes down to this. One view is that we are being watched, quietly, constantly, passively. Not always with bad intent, but never by accident. The other view says we're not prisoners in this system, we're active participants. And the issue isn't really surveillance, it's about being informed enough to make our own choices.
And that really brings us to our final thought. The infrastructure that observes us is huge, it's complex, and for the most part, it's invisible. It is watching. So the only real question left is, are you watching it back?